The Walking Dead, the video game, is a game that I've been playing for the last couple days on the PlayStation 3, and it's more so based on the comic book as opposed to the TV show The Walking Dead. The premise is you're playing this character Lee, who you see at the very beginning. He is in the back of a cop car being brought to jail for the murder of this guy that was fucking his wife. Who could blame him? And as they're driving, they accidentally hit what looks like a person, but it was a walker. Yes, the zombie apocalypse has indeed started, and when the car crashes, Lee is able to get out, and he stumbles across this little girl, Clementine. She's 8 years old. She's by herself because before all of this, her parents were out of town and she was with a babysitter. The babysitter's now dead, so she doesn't have anyone to protect her. So Lee makes the hard but obvious choice to take care of this little girl, to bring her along with him. And along the way, throughout the rest of the game, you run into people and you just basically try to survive the zombies. Now, what I thought of The Walking Dead, the video game, was, my God, this game, amazing, incredible. What I loved about this game the most was the story. And some people might be thinking, well, it's a zombie apocalypse game. How many of those do we have? What's so special about it? It's the way this game forces you to play it. It's not a game where you're just going around and shooting up zombies left and right. I'm sure that would be more fun to some people, but again, you've had that. This game gives you something different, where you're put into this situation. You feel like you're actually these people going through the zombie apocalypse. It makes you make the tough decisions, the hard choices, and the outcomes, the progression of the story is based off of your choices and the things that you do. So for example, if you run into a group of people and if you lie to them, if you're an asshole to them, they're probably not going to like you and they're probably not going to want you to stay with them. But if you're nice, if you're honest, and if you try to help them as much as you can, they will appreciate that and they will be loyal to you. And I know some games, other games, have had similar circumstances where it's like, okay, you can pick what you want to do, and you do that, but then when you go back to play it again, and you go the opposite way just to see what's different about it, nothing's really different. It ends up just doing the same thing, and you sit there and you go, wow, that's pretty lame. Where this game, no. If you make one choice and then go back and make the other, you get two completely different situations. I mean, they're similar, but it changes drastically as far as the characters, as far as who lives and who dies. And that was something I was really impressed by. In fact, it still makes me want to go back and replay these and do different things. There was a couple of choices, hard choices, that I made, and shit, sometimes I regret it. Like, maybe I shouldn't have done that, and I even went back to undo that because that's how much it affected me. This game will get into your head and make you really feel bad for these people, for these characters, and especially the bond between the main character Lee and Clementine, this little girl. This little girl is so sweet and so nice that you just want to protect her. You just want to make sure she's okay. Things you have to do in order to do that. And the people that, when you make the hard decisions on whether you have to backstab this person, steal from these people, all in the name of survival, it's some of the toughest choices I had to make. And it's amazing that a video game can put me through that. Now, as far as the actual gameplay goes, it's not that difficult. All it is really is just trying to get the controller and press the right button at the right time. Some people might not like that. They might want more of a challenge. But again, I was so immersed into the story and the characters that is what was more important to me than anything else. And even the effects of the game, the way it looked, it's not what you're used to as far as games looking. It definitely has its own unique style, and it actually looks like a comic book, like a live action comic book. And I love that. Also, when it comes to the walkers themselves, when they're there, they're scary. And I know it's like, what, they're just slow zombies that are easy to kill, right? Some situations, sure. But other situations, they'll pop out of nowhere. Literally a couple of times I jumped and I was scared and I was nervous. The tension building with this game was done perfectly. And also, I can't stress enough how much I liked this main character, Lee, because, again, making these tough decisions with certain characters, like this one guy, Kenny, that you meet. He's married, he has a son, and you're with him from the beginning. But then as the game goes along, you have to either side with him, or when he's arguing with other people in the group, you really have to decide on who you agree with or who you're going to side with. And it's tough because sometimes there is one girl, Lily, or another girl, Carly, who are like, hey, they're pretty cute. Let's hook my man Lee up here and try to get with them. So you take their side. But sometimes Kenny has a point, and sometimes you have to make those tough decisions, like who gets what food. Is this person a threat to the group? What should be done with them? Stuff like that. It really pulled me in. In fact, it reminded me why I like this material, why I like the Walking Dead TV show, is seeing characters like that put in a situation. It makes you sit there and go, what would I do? And the fact that this game forces you to make those choices yourself. Again, I can't stress enough how much I love this game. If you haven't played it, I highly, highly recommend it. If I were to rate it, my rating system for video games might have to be slightly altered, but it would still be a full price. I would gladly pay the $60 or whatever it is to buy this. They're played out in episode format, which was cool. And then once you finish all that, there's this downloadable content called 400 Days. And you basically play 5 different characters in 5 different situations. And it's the same, it's similar as far as making choices, the hard decisions, and trying to survive. But I love that because you got to play other characters and you got to sort of branch out as far as, with this person, I'll be an asshole. With that person, I'll make the good, right decisions, and so forth. So again, if you have played this game, let me know in the comments below, what did you think of it? Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Later!